That's not a good spot for that. Come on, come on. No, get it. I don't like that. I don't want those. That's what. Oh. Ah, dang. This is fine. This is fine. A lot more Zenith now. But I still seem to be alive for some reason. Oh, okay. So that's a lot of Zeniths. Let's watch this game. I am here. Dyslexic is here. Jake is here. We're gonna build stuff and do violence at each other. Opening hex. I got 2 borders, 1 exit. Okay. So I got 1 choice for how I can move out. This will work. There'll be good competition. Things will be fun. We're gonna have fun. We're having fun here. Silicon. Done. Okay. Okay. Jake is right there. He is close. And Dyslexic is close to him. So 3-way fist fight. Let's go. Let's go get that. Put the factory right up. I need to take this middle hex. And not Jake. Not only because it's my only way out, but because I need that to buffer against him. But if I take that, he's pretty much out. So that's what that is. And I need to make sure I've got extra power and saving up for silicon electric defenses against his daggers. Wait until I have 3 and then move out. And do all that other stuff in the meantime. So little bits of economy. I don't have a good lead patch to put my glass drill. All right, there's 3. Let's go. Let's go. Go get it. He didn't have any stuff coming down yet. Scrolled up a little and check. Go stand near it, start shooting. All right, good range. This is gonna work. This is gonna work. And with that established, I don't need that factory anymore. And take it down and use the silicon ready to build. Oh, okay. 3 versus 3. That is a 50-50 chance of do I get it? Do I get it? Do I get it? Do kind of. Oh, oops. All right. So I took my factory down, and I've got 2 daggers left, and now we put the arcs up. Well, this is basically a loss. Not much to do now. Put some defense up. So now I'm trapped in a corner. All right, well, there's empty space. The last resort option, if you're trapped in, is you can go build off of vacant space. It's bad. Like, as soon as the fallen core gets to that snow patch there, it destroys everything when it spawns. So all of this is guaranteed to be lost at some point. But if I can get some units out, and I've got these completely self-contained unit factories for this purpose. But I picked the wrong spot. That's not a good spot for that, because this is about to go... oh. Alright, well that was a waste. Whoops. Well, he's not attacking me, so I can keep doing this. I don't think he's going to get those 2 or this one, so maybe this spot will actually... Okay. Here's a spot for the unit factory where they'll actually be able to walk to somewhere that will be useful. Yeah, it's only been 5 minutes. Here's a good coal patch. Let's make some crawlers over here. Sure. And I'll let them sit and bulk up until there's enough to take a hex somewhere. If I get a hex somewhere else, then it won't be a direct loss when I lose my nucleus. Jake should probably focus on taking me out. Especially I only left like 5 arcs behind. You can make a Nova and sit it at range and take those out. But it looks like he wants to focus on dyslexic instead. So they seem to have basically counted me out, which I am. Like, there's no good recovery to this that doesn't involve being ignored for 15 minutes or so. Yeah. So we want to battery up so that power actually goes to arcs instead of running empty as soon as they fire for a tiny little bit. And put some of the cheap barrier defense up for them. But he didn't want anything to do with me. He is happy to seal me away in my tomb and go about his business. Sure, great. I like to have monos. I like to have 2 graphite presses. It's nice. That's my unit factories. I got crawlers. Those will do something. That's cool. Let's go. Crawlers. Oh. Ah! Denny spawn. Spawn fallen hex where I had those daggers sitting. So that's all gone because someone spawned in and took the empty space. Ooh. And I didn't have enough crawlers to take a core. So now we're back to just the tomb and pretty much nothing else. 1 crawler at a time here. That doesn't make fast enough to really overcome the regen of the fallen cores. So even worse off. What is there to even do with your time at this point? Well, we're just gonna put self-contained unit factories all over the damn place. I got a big stockpile of copper and lead. Not so much the silicon. And I can't really put any more because I don't have a core to load it into. So once this finishes, the self-contained factory I have that doesn't use silicon is a flare factory. We'll put flare factories up, sure. So 7 or 8 drills, feed into that, and let it sit there. See, 10 minutes, I don't have a single core. I'm not even participating in this game. That's how bad it's going. Oh, I've got some cores now. All right. My beachhead elsewhere is established. And we've kind of got a decent amount of stuff saved up from the economy of the tomb. So sure, we'll start with some power, and then we'll build some nice larger things and get some real resources. If anybody makes air, it's going to come for this. That's a problem too. Dagger is wandering over here. They'll go to that core. They'll wipe this out. That won't be good. So I need the power plant to finish and start up so that I can power the arcs. And my only other option would be like duos. If I have to resort to duos, it's bad. Okay, finished. All right, link it up. You gotta link it up. Duos. Oh no. Do those even shoot? Come on. No, block it with yourself and get. Oh. I didn't want that power plant anyway. If I wanted it, I would have put it somewhere that wouldn't have been lost immediately. That was a feint. Yeah, that's right. the ashes of the burned down power plant to slow down their units. Yes. This is a poly factory. Do I even want that? No, I don't want a poly factory. I'm going to have garbage buildings from like the flare factories and the self-contained dagger factories all over the place. And if I got polys, then they're going to rebuild that. And if I build something better, and then they rebuild underneath it anyway, then it's just going to clog things up by mixing schems together. So we're going to avoid making polys. But now that I got cores, I can actually feed stuff into it. So let's have some silicon. I don't need a power plant to run this silicon. I just need like 10 mechanical drills. Let's do some of those. I mean, 9,000 lead and copper. I could make these all day. The power I should have been building instead of that diff gen, but old habits from before I put water into the maps. That's what happened to that. Diff gens used to be the thing you go to first, but now it's steam gens because you could get a little one quick and cheap. Okay, more power, sure. So I get the battery filling up there, so that'll help kickstart this. And my resource buildup is a little better. I gotta make sure that I actually cover all the resources in something that's outside the tomb. So I need a little graphite, and I need a little titan and glass. So this is gonna clog. Good job. Not a good job. Not a good job. I haven't paid any attention to any of those other people for a long time. They should just be pumping out units and wrecking anything that I have on the left. They should be coming after me because it's easy. But I still seem to be alive for some reason. Well, we got enough silicon factories up that, sure, let's make even more ground units. Let's spread out a flood of T1. Pretty sure that's my plan at this point. I'm just gonna make the cheap silicon factories and then unloaders of, like flares and daggers and junk. It's annoying to have to tech up. I don't want to do that. I want to just make low tech stuff and a lot of it and sleepwalk my way through this game, which has so much misfortune piled upon me already. Why try? Just do something goofy and fun. Sure. Okay, so let's make some platinum. This is probably my weirdest factory. I want one platinum thing going, just enough to like do some overdrives every now and then. So if I'm gonna have that going, then I got Titan already. If I've got Titan, then I'm already most of the way to being able to do some diff gens and some extra power. So it could be self-powering, okay. And in order to do that, I need some lead and sand and coal. And since it's dark sand everywhere on the map, then if I have sand, then I've got oil and I've got coal. And if I've got sand and I've got lead, then I've got glass. And if I do more and more things in the same scam, then I get all of those things for the cost of placing one scam. So yeah, let's do it all together. It goes fine. And it's, things are reasonably efficient. Effectiveness of the oil being used for like the cost of the oil extractor is bad. But okay, so I wasted 75 thorium. Meh. things not running at 100 efficiency is fine if it does other useful stuff for your purposes. And then you pop the overdrive on there, it works a little better. So what is even going on elsewhere in my stupid, scrappy empire? Can't afford that. Do a power plant like this. Things must be bad. I'm building another 2-diff generator. But I've got some regular resources. And my monos in my tomb are still going just fine. Jake continues to ignore that and be stopped by 5 arcs. But really, he's just not going back and thinking about reevaluating that. You would absolutely want to finish off that section. Like, if we actually do get to a real point in the game where people have expanded off and put up fort trenches, my command center is in there. Like, I can rally air units directly to behind his base if I ever have air units. Maybe I'll have air units. These are air units. I got like 6K silicon. That'll turn into flares. That'll work well. Yeah, sure. We're coming back. We're not bothering to build defense because that is boring and for cowards. Only attacking. Only attacking with knives and flares. No good stuff, just lots of bad stuff. Chat chatter suggests that Jake is having a bad time. Okay, so we'll go for this again. This is left over from the old assimilation days, actually. This is self-powered Zenith factory. You put in lead, you put in Titan, you put it on a coal and some sand, and it makes Zeniths. It powers itself. You just need a little input at some point to kickstart it. And this is for, I don't want to worry about balancing the resources in my core. No, I don't want unloaders to empty me out of something. I want just make what you need for yourself and keep it to yourself. Uh-oh. Crap. So horizons are a threat. Horizons will take out my power plants and take out my cores, and they're being well distracted by the daggers, so that's nice, but eventually they're going to actually come on through. The shield will stop the horizons, as is well known by everyone. Scatters, the shield, and one little combustion generator make sure that that's where they go instead of going somewhere that would actually be bad to be attacked. Okay, so horizon threat neutralized. Look how bad they do. And my flares are going into some of this economy hexes. So take that, mosquito squatter. Oh, there's some daggers right there. I don't like that. I don't want those. They all died. Yay! Alright, well, there's my real power plant. And I got some bank, so sure, we'll put that up. We'll put the phase up. I like to do the phase immediately after finishing that power plant because the gain from that power plant of adding phase as far as energy production is more than the cost of running the phase factory. And you get plenty of extra phase for whatever other purposes. My mid-late game, this silicon factory, I couldn't get it to work, or I didn't work on it hard enough to find a way to do it without a phase bridge. So I can't build this until I have phase being produced. Oh, looks like my flares killed Denny. So I got my revenge on Denny for spawning in somewhere completely outside of his decision-making process and killing my first, no, like my second or third dagger factory. Are my flares breaking through? Looks like they might. So the silicon bank is good. So I'm making flare factories to sort of wrap around to the south here because I want them approaching from as many different angles as possible. Denny wants to join me. Well, this is a trash game. Why not? Sure. Go ahead, Denny. Denny will be on my team. Me and Denny working together against Dyslexic. And Denny has gone straight for his most expensive power plant because that's what the impulse is. Oh, if I join a good player's team, then we can build the big stuff. It's just natural. It's just how people work. That's what they think. Oh, some of those lancers don't work anymore, and that's no good. We're bad on graphite. So I'm going to drop a bunch of graphite factories. Not even the great ones. The difference between a multi-press and a regular press, it's not super impressive. It pretty much, the multi-press uses less coal, but if you have a ton of space and a ton of coal anyway, then it, like, being coal constrained doesn't matter. It's like that with a lot of the recipes. Like the difference between silicon smelters and silicon crucibles is how much inputs you use. So if you have a lot of space and a lot of cheap inputs, then just use the smelters. Sure. Why bother with lead? It's even more energy efficient that way. Like these things, they shine even better if you boost them. Because the drawback to boosting stuff is it also uses more power. But presses don't use power, so you boost them and you just get the good stuff for free. Okay. We built the thorium plant and it's working. So, okay, good. And we'll get some more silicon and we'll make more flare factories. Another amusing thing about doing the flares this way is they're a great distraction. Like if he makes zeniths, the zeniths will stop and turn around and chase flares and never actually get to anywhere useful. It is nice how you can plan future things while you're building the current thing. Economy of attention. That's what this game really is. There's like 5 different useful things I could be doing, and I have maybe enough time to do 2 of them. So I have to pick which 2. And hopefully none of those are things that if you don't do it, you're going to lose automatically. If you get to that point, well, you lose automatically. We have the silicon. These things are rather silicon hungry. 4,000 is kind of not an impressive amount either. I haven't made surge yet. Defense? Pfft. Why would I defend this garbage? Oh, I guess I wanted to defend this garbage. I might think that I'm gonna actually try and win at this point. Yeah, a bunch of cheap stuff up there. You had to put all those internal scatters because of the flares. Those self-contained scatter factories, if it's not core unload, then enough flares will run out of ammo. There I am not paying good attention to platinum and conveyors. So both of these are going to jam up those flare factories. Not that I'm missing out on anything important, but it's dumb. Way to not be careful. Taking down the jammed flare factory without realizing that the other one's jammed too, for the exact same reason. Finish your power connection too. No, it had been connected, but the deconstruction. Power's not as low as I thought. Danny must have done something. That flare factory there, that's my schematic, but Danny built that. Danny's building stuff, and we're not run out of resources. Okay. I do not immediately regret inviting Danny. What a pleasant surprise. Glass could be a little better, but platinum could be a lot better. But I'm not building cyclones yet, so that doesn't really matter much. Oh, well. Here comes something interesting. They're headed for... yeah, power... They're headed for the tomb. The tomb is still there. Jake never took care of it. And instead of going to the tomb, they went after some stuff Danny was building. Yeah, this is Russians in Stalingrad going across the river. That's what... oh, dang. Oh, well. So this should have happened a long time ago, and could have happened at any time. But now there's real units going through all of the stuff that I built when I first moved over to this side of the world, and had to come up with something scrappy to try and stop it. Luckily, all the big power and silicon and unit factories are to the south there, so there is space that needs to be churned through. And the stream of units will retake some of that stuff over time. But I won't get the benefit of stuff being rebuilt, because no polys, because they're also going to rebuild garbage. All right, one zenith. I'm going to kill one zenith. And maybe not have everything burned down. This is on fire. It's lost power. It's on fire. This is fine. This is fine. We can do this. We can put out the fire. This is fine. Okay. Well, let's connect back the... do it. All right, that was a dumb rebuild. That was... I did that with the wrong chirality, so it's not going to work when it rebuilds, because it's going to be a mismatch of two different rotations of that power plant. Just give up on the whole thing. That's what you should do. And that map check, this is starting to build trenches. The masses of flares will not get through trenches or do anything effective. They'll waste some ammo. You probably put surge into those, so waste a surge. If I waste enough surge, then good things will happen. The flares are distracting zeniths. That's nice. All right, I'm giving up on the no poly plan. I think I can do something, so we're gonna try and do it when I get around to building the poly factory. Now I'm gonna have to put a real defense in also. I do have the surge, And so we just need our units to pick one of these up here, and then something will get some cyclones and a bait generator, and then that'll be solved well enough. And now that there's polys out, they're going to start rebuilding junk. And I'll just have to take it down as it appears or something. I never actually built a real platinum factory. It's just been that differential generator one the whole time. And I think that died. I think it's dead. I think I have no platinum production. That's not fun. Well, no, I'm having fun. That's not effective. That's not good skilled gameplay. This is... I'm coasting on doofus gameplay here. That's what's going on. But hey, as long as those zeniths start coming here, then we're good. I still have one zenith factory going. That's nice. I don't have platinum. I can't make a platinum belt. This will just have to be slightly less efficient. Impressively, I haven't paid any attention to the left side at all, and it's still there. Denny is holding the line on the other side successfully. So, great. It's almost never the case that taking a random person on your team helps, but this time it did. Perhaps I should have some faith in humanity. Stop rebuilding this broken factory. Stop it. Need more silicon. Need more platinum. 2 cyclones fending off the zeniths that, as long as they have flares to distract them, that won't break through. Maybe we'll actually finish that. Oh, garbage returns. Dumb polys. Forget about that. He's putting economy stuff in that northeast corner now. I had that space much earlier. I didn't have enough attention bandwidth to actually do anything with it or block it off or put flare factories in it, but it's gone now. A lot more zeniths now. Maybe I should go back to not trying. But now this game is at the point where there's been so many setbacks that it's too amusing to think of coming back from that deficit anyway. So now you have to try. Those zeniths are killing my polys. Hey, my first platinum factory came back. Isn't that fun? No, because it's got zeniths all over it. What are we gonna do about these? Let's put some slop down. He made a poly trap. He started it. I'm not the rude one. Building versus building. All right, here comes my slop. Manual line to 1 cyclone. That's too close. The zeniths will shoot it. Oh, okay, it worked anyway. I got lucky. So let's inch this forward, and then we'll kill that poly trap with a building. Like a butthole. Playing like a butthole, because this is a dumb, silly, wild game. It's silly that the poly trap isn't working well because there's too many flares flying by and it's grabbing them instead. Oh. But it looks like building versus building to kill his poly trap is drawing his polys over. So I can counter poly trap him by doing the same thing. So let's do that. Dead poly, dead poly, dead poly. And I need some ground units coming out over on this side to actually catch some of, like, he could rally into that space and it'd be bad for me. Especially, there's not really it'd be bad. I don't want it. So let's make some daggers over here. Danny's still holding the left. Great job, Danny. Polytrap also works against Zeniths. That's nice. Polys will rebuild that. Cool, cool. Things are fun. Let's make these shields better. Sure, why not? Put phase into the shields, cover more space. And get more hit points too. We can extend our trench this way. No man's land no longer. Although this also had some of my old junk in it that's going to be getting rebuilt. Well, he's building polys faster than I'm killing them. But that's a waste of resources to keep rebuilding all that stuff for him. So at least he's getting something done in that way. But polys going back and forth here within range of where I can build. I've already got a plan that works, so let's do it again. More poly trap, but to catch them going back and forth over this void. And I'll throw a fuse in there to chomp them down extra fast. So that's cool. Yeah. Oh, those traps only get one at a time though, because they all focus on the same one. So it might be more effective to have like little clusters of 6 or 9 or something that are far enough apart that they don't all focus on the same one. But I don't really have the time to think about the strategic nuances of parallax placement in this game at this moment. Oh, this came back. So something I need to think about for that tile is there were power plants in it. And as long as there's power plants in it, then he's going to be able to do stuff with air units to actually attack in that direction if he wants it. If he starts doing attention-based attacks, which he hasn't yet. And I haven't yet either. Like, I still have my command center in the tomb hex that I started with. It's not a tomb anymore. It's now an opened up museum of antiques from the ancient era before our civilization established itself. So that's a quasar factory. This is the plan for breaking through. I'm gonna put a bunch of quasar factories and boost them with a dome. And I'm gonna landlock it. And so I'll be able to leave the attack on for the air units to keep doing what they're doing. But I will also be stockpiling quasars. And then when I feel like I have enough or at the right time or whatever, then I'll deconstruct the wall and let them out. You know, you want all of them to come at once. You want it to be a surprise. You don't want them to have time to prepare too much for it. It seems like he has less polys than he used to. I mean, they're still constantly going back and forth, but they're not as dense as they were. Silent Spring, but for enemy polypopulations. I don't want that factory. I want more quasars. No, my polys. The same thing happening to my polys. How about stop rebuilding that? Yeah, it's a... Alright, now I'm noticing the power plants over here and how it's a problem. And I can see that his units are going... He's starting to do active attention attacks. He's got a rallying over here, so I need to get rid of these power plants. Which I'm doing. So I get rid of all the power plants. This is going to go to the fort to the left instead. But I didn't see the steam generator. Steam generator is going to draw them too. So he's going to have a chance to wheel around the right there. What's with his power? Does he have a power problem? Maybe? He's got an amount of trench lines. He does not have a power problem. And now I'm gonna start actively doing army stuff. Denny's still holding the left. Great. I didn't pay attention to a whole entire side of the battlefield, and it didn't go to crap without me. That's nice. Massed flare attack into a zenith blob is not an effective tactic. You heard it here first. But here they come. So let's do some scrappy nonsense. Shields? Stalling walls in the way. I got some daggers coming out. These are... Alright, so I got a mass of units there. That'll draw their attention. They're not shooting at that... Rather, that core is much more exposed than it should be. They took out the poly trap though. But the other one's still functional. Block it, block it, block it. Oh, all the shields are gone, but there's enough... Almost. Got it. Alright. So... we held that spot with the functional fort. I don't want him putting up defenses over there, so trying to focus some fast attacks. You got one cyclone enough, so that'll stop the flares, but I have like 50 flare factories going. I can do mass flare attacks every 30 seconds or something nonsense like that. So we got that back. And then the polys will reveal garbage in there. What else is going on? Poly trap, kind of silent. Oh, kill a zenith, sure. Well, the building versus building destruction that I had been doing to lure his polys over there. Oh, there goes one. So yeah, either he's got no polys left or stuff isn't being destroyed to draw them over there. I believe I have enough quasars now. So we're gonna start trying to cut through the middle. Cutting through the middle will require taking down that command center on the other side. Or not. Oh, alright, so flare attack, ineffective. We're gonna put up some unit protecting shields here for the rally. And now we're letting the quasars out. He doesn't notice. We'll be able to tell when he sees that lots of quasars are coming. I need to cut like 40 minutes out of this game. This is too long. Jeez. I'll figure something out. Only the best words and sounds will make it to the final video. Not enough walking space for the quasars to get there in a reasonable amount of time. Maybe if they had some sort of automatic way to fly instead of needing it to be manually instructed. Oh, now he's dinking off flares with some polys. He sees the quasars, but that's one line of platinum walls is not gonna. They'll still cut through that. So, all right, we're moving forward. We're pushing to actually finish this off, and with like half an hour to spare before the safe zone starts shrinking. Which would actually be pretty bad for me because a lot of my economy is on the outermost border on the bottom. Without getting the units further forward or having some shield over the core, then this isn't going to be easy to hold. But now that I've got the rally there working, then everything will shoot at units instead of the core, and I'll be able to get down the factory. So yeah, I got that. I got to build up more quasars again. And while I'm doing that, he has time to strengthen the forts in this area. Way to the left there would probably be fine. The northwest, that's getting strengthened more than I want to attack. But that one to the northeast, that looks good. So we'll try and angle it so that stuff goes that way. If that's only got 2 finished cyclones, it's not going to break through into his economy though, but it'll sort of be useful in the direction of cutting things in half. Go get that. And yeah, easily taken, but not easily held. All right, well, so there's no easy gains on that side. Let's check other places. This looks like easy gains. No defenses, and there's stuff to the north there. So I could just fly over this void and have a good time. All I gotta do is take down all the other command centers that might still be around and set the rally. What's he paying attention to right now? Yeah, and that sends the attack. So, great. Flares into his economy. Hopefully there's not a whole bunch of scatters left over from before, but also that's a lot of flares to run them out of ammo. And then the fast turret build-in to try and hold stuff as they take it. So here's a foothold. Let's grab that. You gotta get it in before any neighboring ground units decide to wander in this direction. We got polys rebuilding Oh, those crawlers will take care of it, though. All right, we're getting in. So presumably, if we can take out all this economy stuff, then no power. And he'll start running out of ammo, and then the forts could be cleared up. And yes, this is the point that I realized that I actually pulled off the come from behind victory, and like, oh, this is just too interesting. And Denny did a good job. Wasn't expecting that at all. Oh, okay. So that's a lot of Zeniths. But at this point, that's not really a threat because he can't replace those. And he can't take any ground without losing a large fraction of those. So this is just sort of a leftover vestige of an old time that he can't maintain. He can take some forts down with that, but he won't be able to hold them. Might never use that. Yeah, I'm not going to build fast enough for that, so they'll get that core. They'll get me. But everything else left on attack should be chewing through a bunch of places. Oh, they didn't get that core. Poly defenses over ground where everything was just rebuilt by the polys. This mixed stuff. It is abusing when they rebuild stuff that works. Power plant, silicon, daggers, Zeniths. Yeah, these are all. That ought to get worn through pretty soon. Alright, so that chunk of economy is getting eaten through, and now everything is focusing more on the forts that are left. The outproduction has been successful. I've won the game that I had no business winning. Da 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 da.